Welcome to the 2023 Fantasy Baseball Preview for the Kansas City Royals. I am Dave Eddy. This is my dude, Connor Thomure, and we're going to hop into things here in just a minute. But first, I need you to go ahead and hit that like button for us. We're doing, a video for each one of these teams. Connor and myself are doing the AL, and you're stuck with Jason and JP for the NL. But these are really good videos, get you primed for the season. If you want to make sure that you're catching every single one of these videos, do yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel. You'll want to turn on notifications. It'll get you an alert every time one of these new videos come out. We're doing one a day, so you'll always be rocking and rolling, ready to go. And finally, we have our all access subscriptions available. If you go to fantasy6pack.net/plans, you can check that out. Get direct access to guys like Connor and myself, talk about baseball as much as you would like to. We've got other members in there as well, so can constantly, have a conversation going on top of, talking with the guys that from Fantasy Six Pack. But Connor, with all that being said, you ready to hop into some Kansas City Royals?
Yep, let's dive into it.
All right, buddy. Let's go ahead and start off with their starting lineup. Up at the top, we got MJ Melendez, Bobby Witt Jr. behind him, Sal Perez, Vinnie Pasquantino, Edward Olivares, Kyle Isbell, Hunter Dozier, Michael Massey, and rounded off by Drew Waters. This is an offense that certainly is not deep by any stretch of the imagination, but they have some pieces that I really like. And, I don't think that I'm alone with Bobby Witt Jr., being like the dude for me in this lineup. And he was absolutely spectacular last year. If he's healthy, I think he's a guy that you can lock in for, a 2020 season. But I want to hear your thoughts on if something, along the lines of a 25-25 or like a 30-30 season is something we maybe could see from him this year.
I'm on board with the 25-25. I'm not yet on board with the 30-30. I'm not sure if his power is fully, developed and gotten to him yet. But yeah, 25-25 is, that's excellent, honestly. That's almost Jose Ramirez right there. However, He is getting picked in the first round. I just don't feel comfortable picking him in the first round yet. Maybe I'm just behind like everybody else, and they see that he's obviously is a future star, but they see something else that I just don't see yet. I'm not comfortable with the first round tag on him though.
Yeah, in redraft that may be a little bit early. To be fair, his ceiling is ridiculous. If you look at the things he did as a rookie, we would expect that it would get, even better. And to be honest, like I said, even though this lineup isn't very deep, he's going to be well protected. He's got Sal Perez and Vinnie P behind him. So people are going to be forced to, throw him the ball. So he's going to see a lot of good pitches. But yeah, first round price tag definitely would give me some pause for concern. I'd probably prefer to go a little safer with my first round pick, especially. I really like to go like just safe, really good contributor. And even
not really a sophomore.
Yeah, I love his ceiling, but you're really hitching your wagon to a guy that could blow up in your face at least a little bit, And then it wasn't too long ago, everyone's talking about Nick Prado was the Royals' first baseman of the future. And Vinnie P was a guy that either nobody heard of or was a bit of an afterthought. And, things have really changed up now. Vinnie P is thought of as, one of the best, not just young first baseman, one of the best young bats in the game. Now, do you think that we just are going to continue to see that growth and maybe see something along the lines of, 25 home runs, 70-ish RBIs, and maybe even a 270 batting average all wrapped up into one guy?
I think we do. I think we do continue to see him increase and get better as the years go on. And yeah, this year I could definitely see 25 home runs and the 270 batting average. I think he might be short on the RBI, might be closer to the 60, but still close to 70. That's still tons of value there. It's just, you got to really depend on the guys above him. And with this lineup, it's not the strongest lineup out there, to bat runs in. I'm not sure. I'm convinced that anyone on this team will, be above 85, 90 RBIs, honestly.
Yeah, after that 4 spot, it goes downhill really quickly. So you got to kind of pick your poison. That's kind of another reason why maybe I don't trust Witt, in the first round is there's just he's well protected personally in the lineup, but they probably have some very limited opportunities for him to have like the ceiling I think you need from a first round pick. Or I shouldn't really say ceiling. I probably should say the floor that you need, from a guy that you're looking at in the first round there. Let's go ahead and hop into their rotation now. And, they've re-signed Zach Greinke, so he's their ace. And that probably gives you a really good indication of what this rotation is going to look like. But he's followed by Jordan Lyles, Brady Singer, Ryan Yarbrough, and Brad Keller. So those are the 5 guys there. To me, I'll just be honest, this rotation is disgusting. I think we can keep it pretty simple here. And I guess really my question that I want to ask you about the rotation is, who would you draft in this rotation, and why is it Brady Singer?
Well, I am drafting Brady Singer, and part of the reason is his excellent ground ball rate. That's one of my favorite stats. It's not glamorous. It's not like the star model that, everyone looks at, but it's one of those stats that really defines a pitcher. And if they can get ground balls and limit home runs, then they're doing their job, and they let their defense do their job. And I like that. And hopefully with him, he could push past 170 innings this year. That would really help out his potential too. If he can increase those innings, that would help him out a lot.
Yeah, and I don't like how Roster Resource has this, because if you're telling me that Brady Singer is their, SP3, I say bullshit. I think he's their ace. A guy like Greinke will probably get like the opening day start just because of the history that, he has with the Royals. But at the end of the day, I think that Singer is the only guy that, at least in the draft, we'll see what happens. But he's the only guy that I would really consider. Yeah, at best. I mean, honestly, you'd have a real hard time talking me into anybody but Brady Singer right now. So let's pop into their bullpen here. And when we look at the top here, the closer is Scott Barlow. I feel like his role is pretty safe. We got Dylan Coleman, and surprisingly to maybe some people, Aroldis Chapman is in that bullpen as well. They got Taylor Clark, Amir Garrett, Josh DeMont, Josh Taylor, and then Carlos Hernandez as well. When I look at this bullpen, there are some pieces that I like, but I just don't know how many opportunities we're going to see. I don't think this is going to be a very good, baseball team this year. Like I said, I think, Barlow, very clear ninth inning guy. I like Dylan Coleman. I like Amir Garrett as well. What we're going to get from Chapman is kind of anyone's guess. So I just kind of wide range here. What do you think that, you see coming out of this bullpen in 2023? And, kind of what would your strategy be in different formats on how to try to attack this bullpen?
Barlow is clearly the closer. I'm targeting him in like deeper leagues if you need like one of those final guys to, solidify your bullpen and to get some get some saves. And then he's going to be the guy for you like late in drafts. As far as like in a saves plus holds league, I could be on board with getting Aroldis Chapman. I believe that the Royals are going to trade him by the trade deadline, try getting some prospects back for him. I think that was their main reason of signing him, is to try trading him at the deadline. They're a team that can always use more prospects, it seems like. As far as the other guys like Garrett and Stamont, I like Carlos Hernandez too. I think those guys could be like in points leagues. They might be players that you can like stream, like if you have an extra roster spot and you just need some extra points at the end of the week, you grab these guys because they're going to pitch. If they haven't pitched in a few days, so you grab one of them. Besides for that, I think Barlow's and Chapman might be really the only guys I might be looking at.
Yeah, I think a guy like Barlow, honestly, I think he gets pushed down probably more than he should, because I think when people look at closers, they look at one thing. They look at saves, and I get it, right? But you've got to keep in mind that the peripherals for these guys are important too. Even if Barlow is getting into games and he's not necessarily getting a save opportunity, he's still going to provide you with a solid ERA, a solid whip. So those are things you got to consider as well. It's not necessarily you're drafting a closer specifically for saves. Obviously, that's important, but those ratios become really important as well. So I think that's going to do it here for the Kansas City Royals. Again, throw a like on here for us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I hope you're enjoying these videos as they're coming out day by day. We got a lot more to come. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.